Oh, you found it. Yes. No, we usually start at the Bosch PRs unless there's people from other areas. And then we
And
go
just the
from right to left.
right to left.
Yeah.
Assume not done, or who's
No,
looking down?
yeah. No, I mean, it's Kanban style, right? So you look at you want to limit the work in progress. So things that are closer to being done, you want to look at first.
Reasonable.
Yes. Then I will
This is
update
still
the document with who's here. Do attendance as well.
so. This is a PR to the Bosch package Java release, which we've been trying to figure out who should own. Do we have any idea who this person is with? And why they're, because I think a big concern we have is we have no idea who's using this for what. I remember a year or so ago, I communicated with prior maintainers of it, maybe the identity folks, UAA and CredHub, and they were like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Don't use that ever. That shouldn't even be a thing because of the way that Java works in a Bosch release typically. So I guess it'd be interesting to know if this person's actually using it or just looking to keep things up to date.
Does it say anything on this profile? Microsoft.
Now I'm even more confused.
Yeah. I know at some point SAP had some consultants from Microsoft, but I don't know.
He's not one of them.
He is also from Adoptium. If you look in his thing, he's a chairman at Adoptium.
Oh,
what's Adoptium?
Is that this Adopt Open? Oh no, it's different. It's just very similar letters. So wait, he's changing it from to their stuff
because that's being deprecated. Is what I looked up.
So you might just be trolling through the internet looking for.
They just changed the
name.
Yeah, seems like he did a broad search across the internet or GitHub.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just let the reviews merge it then. Probably not a thread of somebody who we can find who might be using or own this thing.
Yeah, but so apparently we are hosting CI for it, right? In the
yeah, apparently I did that a year or two ago. I don't know. We were looking to just fly all those things, I think, and
but it's
I think that's where I was trying to find an owner.
Okay, but I thought they had a Concourse instance.
Who?
I don't know, the people you talked to.
Yeah, they did.
Really...
And then
did they take it down? Took it down?
Yeah, I think they took it down because I was like, there was a PR or there was a deprecation or something needed to be done. And I was like, you can do it or I can fly it and let the robots do it because their robots weren't working or something. So we just flew it and let the robots do their thing. And apparently we forgot about it. But yeah, we still need to find if anybody's using that. Guess we could troll through Bosch.io and see if any of the releases there included as a package. It'll be a fun track of work.
I mean, CI is green, right?
Yeah, but should it even be a thing? Is the question. Like,
I don't know.
If nobody's using it and it's a bad idea, as the last maintainers told me, like maybe it should just be deleted. To the attic with it. We'll see. I'll see if I can find some time tomorrow to check Bosch.io and see if I can find if there's any packages still or releases still actively using it. Uh-oh. I'm on this one. Fix TLS verification, multiple CPI configs. Oh, yes. So this is these are CPI. Looks like we still just need people to review this. Looks like it is.
You looked at it. And
Yes. Yeah, I found one other thing that I haven't gone back and looked at again. It was just a one of the certs was still coming in like via a hard-coded environment variable or something. Maybe only during tests or something, I don't know. But yeah, it was something that this doesn't make sense as a global variable if you're allowing different CPI configs from the director. But it's probably fine now. I'll take a look at it again and hopefully get one of these other two to chime in. Network changes in VirtualBox 7. We looked at this last week. Looks like there have been some traction on it. Ramon took a look. Oh, 6.1 fails. Do we care if it's broken on 6.1? I guess is a question. Is this
well, it worked. The old stuff worked there, so I don't think we want to.
Got it. Okay. So it'd be good if somebody did some conditionality in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
They added something, right? Or
for 06, so.
that last commit, right? It fixes it.
No, that's only for OS X.
So it's still broken on Linux?
I think so. I only see it's fixed for OS X, so.
Yeah.
I could test it again.
Yeah, could you? I mean, it's not too much work. Could you test it and comment?
Yeah, I need to install 6.1 again, and then.
Oh, okay. Then you can also just comment because based on the code, it seems really unlikely that it's fixed on Linux.
I will just test it.
All right, and then looks like somebody wants to remove Bosch CLI version 6 from the package, which I'm guessing is because that's no longer a supported version of the CLI. Be my guess.
Yeah, but I don't have to look at because we have that community thing where we're trying to move this into a different working group.
Oh yeah.
So there's so we probably want to take, because I think there was approval for that. So we want to.
Yeah.
So this move was approved. The other one was not. Like the Java one is now blocking it, but maybe we want to do it as separate PRs, and maybe the Java one just needs to be removed or archived instead.
Okay, so don't worry about that. They've already got reviewers from their working group, I think.
Yeah.
Bosch docs. Consistently link the documentation for the version of Monet. Oh yeah. Somebody wanted to do some Monet things, and we warned them that, like, you can't use current Monet docs. They got a archive.org.
But isn't there a gist? Someone made a gist, right?
Yeah, somebody copied I mean, it's into like some former VMware's personal GitHub account, I think is where the gist is.
Yeah,
seems reasonable as far as an archive.org is probably not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, it seems like a better thing to link to. And it has better formatting than the gist.
Still not keen on people actually using features of Monet, but doesn't seem like a bad resource to provide, at least.
No, this is bad. This is good. So you just assign people. You search for live. No, it's life cycle, right? I think that's what. Yeah, so I usually you can assign both because one is the actual approvers and the other one is for just reviewers. I don't know if we have reviewers at the moment, but then they at least get notified.
Yes, we have 2 reviews.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Monet is now so old that we need to use Wayback Machine.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it was
that's
always
been
the
true
case.
for a little while.
Yeah, but now it's really gone.
Oh, we're 12 years past that Monet release.
Can you add it to the pending review column?
That does make sense. This is more. Oh no, what is this?
So this is from me. Yeah, so this is about, yeah. So Bosch Docs already claims that there's support for skip host verify as a DB TLS database TLS property for specifically meant for GCP because it's difficult to verify host names with the CS there. So, but the documentation exists, but the implementation does not yet exist yet. So this is what we try to do with this PR.
Vectors, post verify. Yeah.
And this
Seems
is
reasonable.
Yeah.
All right. Love. We're so bad at documenting things. It's very strange when we document something that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, we learned it the hard way.
Oh. Thank you for that. Oh,
And the other two are also from me,
okay.
mostly related to just one thing. So one change is in Bosch director code. The other one is in the Azure storage CLI. So the problem is that the agent somehow wants to read the config properties of the blob store with an underscore, so an account underscore key and account underscore name, but somehow there was a misconfiguration with the hyphen, so we just unified it, and now we use hyphens instead of underscores instead of hyphens, and hopefully it works now.
Okay, so the current Azure blob store stuff's just broken entirely.
So most of it almost works, but when we actually try to switch, then we failed because we could not read the account keys and account names, and then we realized, okay, this is because of this hyphen underscore thing. So,
Okay.
but yeah, after this, we tested it should work after this.
So,
It's
after.
more,
Sorry.
yeah, I just want to say we probably want to add something to the release notes, right, of the previous release, because I think that's where it was introduced.
Yeah, I
Mm.
can. All right. Oh. I did use that as a reminder. I can dig through. I can update the release notes, and then after this is done, we'll probably want to update where we update the Bosch docs saying where this is available to whatever the newer versions are of the stem cell and the director.
So people who start consuming it with the previous version would see it as a breaking change anyways. But
Yeah. You wouldn't want them to try to use it and be like, it doesn't work. It's like, well,
yeah.
the docs were a lot. We already have one PR for that.
Yeah.
And this one's for, I'll move that over. This one's for
And
the
this one
agent.
is, for the CLI, yeah.
Oh, the Azure Storage CLI, I see. Got it. Okay, so the agent's expecting underscores, but everybody else is using hyphens.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Seems good. And then we're supposed to look at databases, I learned last week.
Allegedly, but usually not.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. If there's nobody here from that group, there's no group also. So I don't know.
I added.
Oh, you did
this.
some Postgres things. Yes.
I did a Postgres thing. So it's been a long week. I merged the. Oh, this is an issue. This should probably, I should close this. This is, yeah. So last week you foolishly added me as a reviewer to the PR to ship 45, which turned out I was like, this looks great. And then I merged it. And then I started doing work on this to overhaul the exceptions test and learned 45 was super broken. some of the seemingly good security changes in it actually prevent everything from working. So now I made a PR to actually run all the tests, ideally put them into the Bosch.ci Foundation concourse. There's some prerequisites, which is we probably want to rename develop to main, because right now there's develop master, but master hasn't been updated in forever and develops current default. So just pull that band-aid off. We need to fix the concourse, which I don't know if there was mention of abandoning Kate's and deploying it with Bosch.
Yeah. I looked at it. This is chicken egg things, right? I thought, oh, I'll use bootloader to set up the new concourse and just migrate the whole stuff from Kate's. But then I was looking at like, where can I store the state? And then I found something in Bosch bootloader that should store the state in the bucket, but it doesn't. So I was looking into that.
Okay. Happy for you to continue leading on this because it is a lot of work. We do have a lot of tooling already that we use on our team that uses concourse to deploy the director and the concourse, and then rotate the certs sort of every month for the nats and concourse and keep it. It's been a lot of pain, but it's very close to correct now. So if we want to leverage any of that, we can, but we can also do bubble and then figure out how we want to automate sort of updating of certs on that.
But it
But
doesn't really matter. It's something we still need to have if we set up a director, we still need it. What we also can do is there is a bootloader resource for, but that it will just add a lot of time, because then it will, basically my idea was that it will create a director for each task and then delete the director again. But that would add so much time to like every 30 minutes for a test extra.
Deploy a director for every.
Yeah, so I thought like for every run, like a director is just set up temporary directors for each CI. Like, but yeah, that was a horrible idea.
wasn't the idea here to use Bosch Lite, and that can work on?
Yeah, so Bosch
And
Lite
then
will
we're
also work, but then we need to move away from Kate's.
Yes.
I see.
Oh, Ramon, you were talking about fixing the intermediate thing by deploying a director, running tests, and then deleting
Yes.
it again.
Yeah,
I see.
I got it. Yeah.
So there were several options, and now I just want to set up Cloud Foundry like with bootloader, and that we have a proper concourse, and then move all the stuff, migrate everything. So it's basically only a database migration. So I don't.
But Joseph, the internal tooling that we have, I think that still relies on LastPass, right?
No, there's no
For a bit.
LastPass in any of the tooling.
None of it. So where's
No.
oh wait, it's just using an GCP bucket, right? And then you use your GCP account to get onboarded. That
Yeah.
could work.
Similar to the current Kate's infrastructure stuff, as long as you remember the GCP account, you can sort of
Do
get
everything.
in and do stuff. Yeah.
Maybe it makes sense to use that. But is it like, can we open source some of that? Is it like in a state that's reusable?
That has always been my intention with that repo. There's a lot of we can't do the whole repo anymore because people started jamming a bunch of other stuff into that repo, but I think we're fine copying a lot of those scripts and toolings out into the infrastructure repo if we want, and then our team could even start consuming it from there in theory. But maybe I'll sync with Ramon and sort of share some of what we have and see if it makes sense to use.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's this last little bit here of I have no idea where the final release bucket for this is. There's a private bucket resource in here or a private YAML
Ooh,
thing it expects to pull out, but I have no idea. It's not in the
I think
foundation one.
I think I have access to that in LastPass.
Oh, that one's in
I think
LastPass. Oh, I might too then. I didn't check
the
there.
VM was offboarded or something, and I got access to it. Yeah, I think there was like, yeah, something there.
An old pivotal bucket or
Yeah, something like that.
There are a ton of changes here as far as I deleted a whole bunch of CI stuff that was, there was stuff for deploying Cloud Foundry and cleaning it. And a lot of it was assuming that there is a long running Cloud Foundry test environment for this. And I just deleted all that. I don't know if we want to, it's still blocked on these things, but if any of the current people who've been working on this want to be added as reviewers to this, to take a look before we sort of, we're not close to finalizing this, but at some point.
yeah.
Yeah, but if Andreas from SAP has been working on this, I don't know if he's. I don't think he is actually a reviewer yet.
Right.
Um.
I didn't let you
No.
add people who aren't official reviewers.
Yes, it's perfect.
Maybe we'll just ping them and point them at this and see if they have any comments on it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most important thing is that we set up a Bosch director,
Yeah.
right? So doesn't matter if concourse is over, but at least if you have a Bosch director.
That's the well, so that depends. Like right now, these are very lightweight acceptance tests because they don't use a Bosch director. They just use the Warden CPI Docker container, which just has the
But
same
that
thing
doesn't
as
work
the what's that?
on Kate. That doesn't work on Kate, right?
Right, it doesn't work on Kate. So like if we move Concourse over, then we get to use that very lightweight container.
Yeah.
We
But then
could
we still
also
need to-
target
we
a
s-
long-running director.
Yeah, then we still need a Bosch director in either case because
Yes, yeah. Sort of one of the long-running problems with the pointing at a real director is when things go sideways in tests, you sort of are likely to leak things. So a Bosch light just all disappears after the test run, whereas one you might have to clean up, but it's a pretty consistent pattern that it uses for the deployment. We could just add a cleanup job after or periodically that deletes any deployments left over.
But there's not so much work. There's not so much going on this release, right? So makes sense to not over-engineer it too much, as in like do it in a Bosch light, like the fact that it takes a bit more time. Actually, that should be faster, right?
Yeah, well, it's got to spin up the director, which is you burn like 10 or 15 minutes. It's probably overall slightly slower than if you had a long-running director. But it's also cheaper because you're not having to
Yes.
spin up the actual VMs at the end of the day. It all happens in the Concourse worker. But you are going to be paying for Concourse workers at that point. I don't know where the cost of that versus the Kate's workers. No idea how that works out financially.
Yeah, we need to move it away anyways, because if we want to migrate some of the Bosch stuff as well to there,
That's
Bosch
true.
Agent needs to do Windows, so we need to have a proper Windows worker.
Yeah.
I created that for the Kate's Concourse chart, but nobody is maintaining anything there, so I'm just abandoning it. It was a waste of a month's worth of effort, but it's done.
Nice. All right. I'll sync up with some of the tooling we have on that. And this is not urgent. This is just it'd be nice if this auto bumped stuff. We did actually ship a V46 last night with fixes for this. It might have its own set of problems. I know I deployed it to our concourse and it was failing due to Postgres complaining about shared memory not available, and it has something to do with newer versions of Postgres and systemd. And if you don't run it as a system user, although I don't know, VCAP seems like a system user, but I don't know, have to dig in more to that. But version 46 might have a different set of problems. Right now I'm deploying it to see if it's only our large database that's causing a problem, because it's like
But we're
or
already
100
using
gigs.
we already were using Postgres 15 in
In the
Bosch.
director, yeah, that's why I'm not sure. We might run that. That doesn't run as VCAP though, I don't think. It either runs just as root probably because we're terrible
Ah,
people, but I
okay.
don't think that's true anymore. I think it runs in BBR or not, BPM. I think it runs in BPM now. So I don't know if that avoids this like some sort of like IPC thing. I don't know.
Mm.
It definitely have to look at that to see what the difference is. My Googling last night for what causes this error was very thin. And I thought for sure that we were not hitting this other thing because we don't, the issue shows up when run as a user that you like log in as and then log out as, is like that shared memory gets deleted and that causes long running processes left by that user to fail. And I'm like, we're not really doing that. And it was also very much systemd, and we don't use systemd to run it either. So I don't know. It's some oddities that we need to dig into more, but yeah, the Bosch directory using Postgres 15 should give us a template for how it could work. Otherwise, we might need to do something in pre-start where the way I got it working last night is you edit some systemd login conf and set some IPC thing to false, and then it works.
Okay.
It was very surprising. That number one, I had to do it. And number two, there weren't more people on the internet complaining about it. There was like one Stack Overflow with very low traffic.
Yeah, systemd is had so many weird things. Systemd is. It's not
I'm
something
guessing-
that I say, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that, so I don't know if it's broken always or broken for large databases, but it works in the test, but the tests were run on a Bosch Lite, which I'm pretty sure doesn't use systemd. So yeah. One knock against using Bosch Lite, but I don't think there's going to be frequent systemd issues happening. All right. Anything else?
We usually also go over the open issues. So there's an issue.
This one?
The first one, the Bosch issues. Yes. And then there's the last activity column. So you can see like since the last
It's a week ago.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah,
this
since
backwards.
a week ago.
So let's see,
You
that would
need
be the
to press
10th.
that last activity again. Yeah.
Well, it depends if I want to go from the top to the bottom. I didn't actually care.
Things in the inbox are like things that we haven't looked at all. Are they come in?
Gosh. A lot of text.
So far so good. Finished and then failing. What failing? Oh,
Failing. Oh. So their Bosch directory is broken for some reason. I don't know what this prompt cleanup rendered CPI jobs finished. None of that part makes sense, but it seems like their Bosch deploy failed. Their VM.
which job?
What's I mean, it doesn't say. Might be a creative thing. Maybe I don't know if creative actually pulls that data back.
I would point them to they should enable Bosch debug logging.
You think that would get them more info? I mean, it seems like just Bosch SSH-director,
Yeah,
get on the
sure, like
VM,
that.
check the jobs.
Oh.
I can respond to that in a couple minutes. Try to get them an idea of how to get onto the VM, which is a little bit tricky, I guess. That one's wait, have we looked at this one? That one's old, but
Yeah, that was from last week. Yeah, he didn't respond on it yet, so
should
then you
that
just need to
be?
update yeah, there's these inbox that the states that you can change to waiting.
You can't drag these.
I don't think so. If you click it, then it without control, then it
Oh, really?
okay. Yeah, then it opens an
Oh,
overlay.
fancy.
And then you can change the repository, not status there. And they all have a double function. because they label or issues and PRs are using the same status.
Hmm.
So it's in discussion, I would say. Oh wait, it was already no.
I just
Where's
moved them.
inbox now?
Wait,
Okay.
yeah, I just moved them both.
I see.
Well, the device path resolution is still ongoing, right, for the PRs?
Yeah, I asked about the OpenStack thing. I don't remember what I think
There was a response, right?
there was. This one? No. Where is that
No.
one? Is that all in this?
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh,
in
by the
that.
way, from that user data, I changed that and that he merged it.
For which thing?
That OpenStack CPI release number 8. No, a bit down, yes. User data needs to be encoded in base 64.
Oh, I was looking at numbers over here. I didn't realize there were numbers on both sides.
And so if you scroll down, he needed something from Fog OpenStack, and that's merged now. So
Oh, so we can bump.
basically, if that's done, so he needs to create the PR basically,
Yeah.
and update it.
Do we have auto bumping for OpenStack?
I don't know because I don't have access to the OpenStack CPI release, so it's on your side.
CI. I see.
CPI, yes.
5 days ago, bump gems.
Look at that.
That seems like maybe this was in, I don't know. Let's just see when Fog OpenStack was last changed in here. It's 2. Fog OpenStack last year, 5 years, 7 years. Well, that's weird.
Oh, hasn't done anything.
I don't know
Is
where
it
we're bumping
pinned in the
gems.
gem file?
What? That's a good question. Probably
Because this file was updated 5 days
oh,
ago.
look how helpful. Oh, I wonder if we need to do a major bump. Well, it's 1-1. Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, so
So yeah, he makes a PR. It'll be great.
yeah,
We should at some point clean all this up. We need this exact version of HTTP client, by the way.
for what?
No idea, because at one point we had a lot of people who were just bumping gems manually all the time. So I guess I just never really looked at this because it was a wall of text and I was going to come back to it and I never did. It's probably in my inbox still. He didn't really say what version.
OpenStack train.
Train. Oh yeah,
Probably a new version.
most recent version. I think ours is, what is ours? Wallaby. That's a bad. Wait, is Wallaby newer than Train? I think we're using Wallaby and it's out of support already. So Train being further back alphabetically seems like not a great sign.
OpenStack releases. Let's check. Train is unmaintained. It was released in 2019. Wallaby was 2021 released.
Yeah. Nobody's running on anything that's maintained. Yeah.
So he
Most
should at
recent
least go
version.
to yoga.
Several.
I now have a new numbering naming scheme, right? Based with numbers.
What is he saying? So I got to
He's basically just reiterating that it doesn't work, I think. And because of this mismatch of stuff. Yeah. Which Yeah. Who's surprise? Oh, there's Kenneth. Maybe I'll try to also take a look at this. I have a feeling, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take a look at this on our Wallaby cluster and see if I can figure out why ours works. Because was this actually a change in OpenStack, or because we have customers, I think, not using anything close to new versions. We haven't heard complaints from them, but I'll try to reproduce and see what my Bosch agent is doing with the disk
2019,
IDs.
That's like, well, it has extended maintenance.
Yeah. Not fully out of support, but all right. Anything else?
No.
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.